A few years ago, I was living in Oakland, so I went to an anti-Trump rally. I mean, all the cool kids were doing it, and the cathedral staff had been let go early so that we could get home before the crowd. And wow, us pro-lifers have a lot to learn from these people. Yes, these people were everything you've ever been afraid of when you see Bay Area protests on TV. Straight up anarchist socialist, we will start the revolution now, people. Hashtag resist. Hashtag occupy. I mean, it's Oakland. But everything they did was so strategic toward their end. I learned a lot in one night, and I want to tell you all the things that I learned in some sort of numbered list. Number one, exploit the peaks of disgust among regular people. This protest wasn't on just any day. This protest was the day after the election, when every emotion was just whipped up. Living in a progressive city, the regular people wanted something to do with their impotent rage. So this march gave them a place to go, and it proved very useful. Number two, ratchet action. Every time the president did something that a run-of-the-mill liberal person did not like, the leftists would stage a protest. Every time one of these protests happens is another opportunity for a liberal person to get involved and take action. At every protest, there were people there willing to take your email address, invite you to a local community, a local Facebook or Twitter group to organize you, and you were expected to join. Being mad but not acting on it was seen as criminally privileged and negligent. Number three, the discipline of the radical. The cops were there, of course, and they were cornering someone, and it looked like they were about to make an arrest. So the ringleader of the whole event announced, I need 2 or 3 people who have been trained in this and who are not hot-headed right now to go over there with their camera phones out to observe the police and make sure they're not overstepping anybody's rights. Emphasis on making sure they were sending someone who was going to keep the peace and someone who was going to make them look good throughout the rest of the night, making sure no one looked bad and that no one was going to lose the narrative. I talked about the discipline of the protester when I responded to the Covington Catholic kid thing back in like February. This protest was where I learned about that. You are scrutinized the entire time you are associated with the protest. Act like it. Number four, getting justice is more important than the rules. Or, whose streets? Our streets. This is kind of a development of the rules of nonviolent protest set down by Martin Luther King. Peaceful protest will get messy, and it will probably get violent. The tricks to that are making sure you aren't the instigator of the violence, and make sure that everyone, especially the police, know that you are more concerned with the injustice you are trying to stop than the rules that you might happen to be breaking right now. Now, this pairs very easily with their expressly anti-police stance, which is not exactly a calling card of the conservative pro-life movement or Catholic evangelization, but it should be more well known that we care more about the unborn and about God than about random laws. Even us law-abiding Christians who do care about the law. Number five, prioritizing the voice of the neediest. The end of the night was kind of a open megaphone part of the night. If you had something to say, get in line. People of color, LGBT, immigrant, non-binary people get to cut in line. I had to wait. The politics of the decision is not the point. The point is the prioritizing. We know that there are a lot of needs, but we are going to talk about a very specific thing right now. We want to be the voice of the people, and we welcome your voice, but we absolutely reserve the right to let someone else speak first or to take the microphone away from you. Number six, repeatedly stating your vision. By the way, these things happened all the time. All the time. They paraded up my own street. Battle of Berkeley happened like 3 miles away, and they shaped how the people in those cities thought about themselves. They were the places where this conversation was happening. They were the places that were gonna deal with the realities of this administration and its contact with the resistance over and over and over again. And it works. Number seven, multiple angles of attack. Street protesting is awesome. Gathering online is awesome. Official political, arguing, lobbying, running for office, also awesome. And these impromptu marches were a meeting place for people in all of those arenas of activism. Multiple methods for a common cause helps the cause. Now imagine if we stole some of this methodology and applied it to, say, the pro-life movement or general Christian evangelization, using community organizing to create a space for the Holy Spirit to do his work. Constantly repeating our vision of creating a society that rewards women and pregnancy and parenting instead of punishing them. Taking to the streets every time some idiot politician says something dumb, just like we recently did in Pennsylvania. And we made sure to highlight the voices of the downtrodden and not just our own celebrities, and we did it over and over and over again. Oh man, that would be amazing. Whew, I hope this video accomplishes something. I hope that we start to see ourselves in an active light and not just a passive, oh, I hope the church gets better light. So I'm throwing out ideas, and if you have better ideas, please comment on them. Thank you so much for watching. Patreon. You want these videos to continue? Go to patreon.com/SteveTM and help it continue. I want to say a special thank you to the producers, people who have given to the producer level of the show, and that is Adam, Alex, Andrew, Ben, Christina, Jacob, Joe, and Mom. So take care. I will see you in 2 days with more awesome Catholic videos. One of the beautiful things about the Patreon is the growing conversation that is about to happen on that. The idea is that the videos are great, but the really good stuff about being with Catholic, with Steve the Missionary, is being a part of the conversation, being a part of the extra conversation that happens online, on YouTube, on Patreon, everywhere. So share, like, subscribe, Patreon. Peace.